you could only listen to one band and one band only, who would you be listening to? Well, I want to thank, I'm reading this off the email. Closed. This is the email address, not a hyphen, Kiss fan, and I'm not going to read the rest of it because I don't want you to send them a bunch of hate mail. You could only listen to one band the rest of your life. Who would it be? Very easy for me, cut and dry, as they say in America. Because Radiohead says high and dry. No, it's not Radiohead. I do like most of Radiohead's first album, and their second album's pretty fucking good too. But after that, I don't know what they were doing. So, who is the band that I would spend the rest of, if I could only listen to one band? It's very easy for me, the Beatles. The Beatles are, I think I've been using the word unequivocally a lot, so I'm going to have to look up another word. And this is where my speech impediment comes out. Thesaurus. Thesaurus. We never got to the bottom of it. I was in speech class with a kid that wore an Iron Maiden shirt in first grade. Imagine that. First grade, Iron Maiden, the kid's playing with dental floss, and I'm sitting there with Miss Farrington and Brett Colopy. I've said it, that's his name. Charlotte Cross. In the basement, speech class. Sorry, fucking up this video already. The Beatles. My first, the one thing my dad did right was he always listened to good fucking music since I was a kid. I mean, my first memories are, we all live in the yellow submarine. The yellow submarine. I thought the Beatles were a cartoon for fucking a long time because that's what all I knew them as. But I used to, back in the stoned age, my dad had like all the records, so I remember the white record. It was just a white, fucking record, piece of vinyl, and I remember just seeing all the records and playing, and just the Beatles, their songs, the Beatles songs, most of them are, they're very deceptive in the fact that they sound like they're fucking easy to play, like most songs that you hear on the radio. I mean, I could, listen to them and ding, ding, like fucking Maroon 5, it would take me about 4 minutes to figure out the chord thing, you know what I mean? The Beatles, you'd think you understand what's going on, but you don't. You might have, I'm not going to get into this is going to sound really like fucking retarded, or I'm trying to sound smarter than I am, and I'm not. The music is a lot more simple, but at the same time, they use a lot of things that are I call them deceitfully used tricks. That it's just, the formula that they come up with is, no one's ever done what the Beatles have done. Do you know what I mean? Like, their fucking music from I Want to Hold Your Hand, I just remember the part of I Want to Hold Your Hand, even as a kid. All right, lady. So sorry about this. I just remember as a kid going, I can't wait to get home and see my dog. As a kid, I would hear the, a song like, She Loves You, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, there's a part of that song, right? There's a part of that song where there's these minor chord voicings that kind of go over it, where it's like brown, 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 that kind of just are these lonely, kind of, I don't know if they're not really arpeggiated, but just, they're just beautiful, you know what I mean? And George Harrison is probably one of the most, for me personally, him and Johnny Ramone and Kurt Cobain are probably really just an amalgamation, I believe I'm using that word right, of my style of just, the guitar had so much, you know, like just character, and it was just, you know, I'll be honest with you, the best way to describe the fucking Beatles, like some of their stuff is just, it's like, it's just fucking right. You know, there's not, most of their, don't get me wrong, they got a couple clunkers, but I can tell you this, I can put on fucking, you know, maybe like the Beatles Revolver, and, you know, there's one or two records, like maybe Rubber Soul or Revolver, that I kind of think are a little bit on the shit side, but they were using fucking drugs, you know, LSD and stuff. You know, you're not going to write good material on LSD. Weed, you're going to write good material. I remember smoking weed for the first time, and I still remember the guitar and the song that I came up with. Weed will make you fucking very creative on the guitar, so there is something to that. And heroin. You know, weed and heroin, you know, whatever. See, this is what I do. I just start talking like it's a live video. It's not. Very tasteful, very dynamic, memorable, poppy as fuck, catchy, romantic, so many different genres, not so many, but just so many just different influences and things that, man, they're just, their music is just fucking awesome, you know, like the bass lines, the meanings of the songs, you know, like, I got to get you into my life, it was about weed, you know what I mean? There's just so much shit going on, like, it just sounds like it's always existed. Do you know what I mean? Like the keys, Lucifer gave them the keys to the fucking kingdom and said, here, okay? Help. I want to hold your hand. She loves you in my life. I mean, don't let me down. Ba-doom, ba-doom. I mean, they're just, I just, and your bird can sing. Their song yesterday, I mean, I don't know, man. The Beatles. There's just nobody like the fucking Beatles. And I would never marry somebody or be in a band. These are two of my unbreakable rules. I don't give a fuck who you are. If you don't like the Beatles, there's no way. There's just no way it would ever work out between us. I remember a guy I was in a band with. I forget how this came up. But he was like, oh, you know, he didn't like Nirvana, but he's like, the fucking Beatles, man. Are you kidding me? I fucking love the Beatles. I was just looking for a reason to leave that relationship. It's just so many good songs, so many, you know, and the singing, you know, it used to be very hard for me to tell. It used to be really hard for me to tell who was singing, you know, and their voices just blended. This is a horrible video, and I'm apologizing now, but I'm going to release it. Their voices just, they were just so good tonally together, singing, and, you know, I don't know, it was just, you know, it just was a good mixture, like from my childhood to, it just was right, you know what I mean? Like it couldn't have been any righter. And I just remember hearing the song Revolution. Say it's on a revolution. As a kid, that shit used to tickle my belly hearing that song, hearing that beginning riff, you know, hearing that dirty ass guitar. I was in first grade and I used to look up at my dad when we were driving and go, Dad, what kind of guitar? How do you do that? And him go, oh, you just strum it really hard. And I just knew I was going to play the fucking guitar, even at a young age, because I had a couple good words for shit that people use for like smart, people, or a savant, or fucking some goofy ass words that definitely don't apply to me. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, you just can't. I remember this guy was trying to tell me that Ringo Starr was a horrible drummer, and I said, "Do you play an instrument?" And he said, "No." I said, "Okay." He said, "Why?" "Oh, whoa. I go, "How would you know if he was a horrible drummer?" He goes, "Well, you could tell." And I go, "Well, bro, Ringo Starr did so many fucking crazy things on the drums. A lot of it was just because he was high, from doing rolls backwards instead of starting. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. He just played the drums like a motherfucker." So, anyways, the Beatles. Paul McCartney, the best bass player that ever lived. There's nobody better than Paul McCartney, not John Entwistle, not the dude from Motown, not the guy from the Rolling Stones. I'll just say the dude is probably, I'm not going to get into their solo stuff, but it's the Beatles, guys. There you go.